welcome everyone, welcome. So we have a bunch of people joining us right now. We're gonna spend a few minutes, let us get to the max, and then I'll go over some of the items you need, and Seth will give you a nice welcome, and then we'll start making your drink. So welcome, make yourselves comfortable. Grab some ice, grab your kits, grab the items we sent you, and then we'll get that drink made, get the party started. So we'll give it 2-3 minutes. Just make sure everyone has time to log on. And for those joining us, we'll have the chat open. So as I make the drink tonight, or show you guys how to make the drink tonight, if you have any questions, feel free to type it into the chat. We're gonna keep you muted because we have a pretty good group here today, pretty big group. But the chat is open, and Ellie, who is behind the camera here, will read off those questions to me. Feel free to ask me anything, tell me to slow down, tell me to speed up. So we are at how many guests now? 86 guests. And we'll start another 2 minutes. We'll just let the last few people come in. Welcome. Hope you're comfortable. Hope you have your kits with you, your shaker, your mule mugs, all the items for the cocktail, some ice. I'll go over all of this once we get started after Seth does a nice welcome. I'll let you know what equipment you'll need, some hacks if you don't have a muddler, a nice wooden spoon, anything big, clean that won't break in your mixing tin. So we'll give it 1 more minute. Get us started right at 7:35. Here we go. Excellent. Well, welcome to your mixology class for the day. We're going to make a wonderful drink, the Garden Party Mule. It's kind of the spin on the Moscow Mule. Before I get started, where I'm going to tell you everything you need to have and everything that came in your kit, I'd like to introduce Seth, who's going to give you a nice welcome and then kick it back over to me.
Thank you so much. Hey, everybody. Thanks so much for coming tonight. We're super grateful for your support of the OFJCC, and I'm really glad you're here with us. So many people have stepped up during this unusually challenging year for all of us, and it's just been truly humbling. So I just want to say thank you. And I want to tell you, we have a great program tonight. It's taken a village, and I'm really proud to share our efforts with all of you this evening. I want to acknowledge a few of our institutional partners and supporters for your ongoing generous support of the J. That would be the Israeli Consul General to the Pacific Northwest, Shlomi Kaufman, and Deputy Consul Matan Zamir. Welcome and thank you. I want to acknowledge JCRIF, the Jewish Community Response and Impact Fund. I want to acknowledge the Jewish Community Federation and Endowment Fund in San Francisco, Danny and his team, thank you. Corette Foundation and Jeff Farber, the Coombe Family Foundation, Toby Philanthropies, Tad and Shayna, and of course, the hundreds of individual donors, you folks, all of you, your gifts have sustained us year in and year out. I also want to quickly thank our event partners, Glow Events, Charity Bids, and AVT, and of course, Global Gourmet, who is hosting our mixology party tonight. Finally, we'll be moving over to the event webpage immediately following our mixology party for the live stream. That begins right after this, around 8 o'clock. We'll have a link in the chat for you. It's paloaltojcc.org/gathering21. Hopefully you've seen that a few times in the last few weeks, but we'll put it in the chat as well. And just a quick reminder, if you take photos, we hope you will, please upload them to social media with the hashtag gathering21, and we'd love to see the good time you're all having tonight. Garo, thank you. I'm going to turn it back over to you.
Right on. Welcome, welcome. So let's get making a drink here. Real quickly, I'll go over what you received in your kit. You should have gotten a can of ginger beer, a lime. We sent you some rimming sugar. Since your hosts were kind enough to send you actual mule mugs, we won't be using the rimming sugar. That's better on a glass. some fresh mint,
Wearing something I didn't create.
some agave syrup, and some vodka, and then sort of the star of the show, your poached sweetened pear. As far as equipment goes, one last thing, you need ice. You're going to need enough ice for the cup and also enough for your shaker. As far as equipment, a knife, we're going to be dicing that pear up to get it so we can get it to muddle, and cutting some garnishes. Your nice shaker, your beautiful mug. Some of you received muddlers, maybe some of you didn't. A muddler is really anything that will fit in your mixer, not break. It's clean. A wooden spoon works just great. The back of your ice tongs are great for muddling. We're also going to be shaking it pretty vigorously, so that'll bust it up a lot too. So if you don't have a muddler or a muddler substitute, you will survive. The drink will taste delicious. So without further ado, the first thing I like to do whenever I'm making a cocktail is prepare your garnishes and the things you will need at the end when you pour your drink. That way you're not messing around with that after you've already made your drink and letting it get diluted. So we are going to garnish with 2 lime wheels, some of the mint we sent you, and I'm actually, even though it's not in the directions, I'm going to use a couple slices of the pear as garnish as well. So the first thing I'm going to do is prepare those garnishes. I'm going to start with the lime. I'm just going to cut the end of the lime off and cut 2 nice wheels. So just cut yourself 2 nice wheels like this. And then in order to have it hang off the edge of the mug, what you're going to want to do is not cut all the way through. You're going to cut just shy of the center of the lime and then out through the skin. So just that much. That way it doesn't hang and droop over the glass. If you overcut it, that's what will happen. We'll set those aside. Then we have your mint. What we're going to do is take some of the prettier leaves, or if you have the tips, go ahead and remove the tips. Those we'll save for garnish. So I'm going to take these 2 nice tips and put them aside for garnish. The rest is going to go into the cocktail when we muddle and shake. Open up your pear, and we're going to cut a couple slices for garnish, and then the rest we're going to muddle up. So I'm just going to cut a couple long slices. And I know I'm going quickly, so feel free to jump into the chat. Tell me to slow down if you're not keeping up. Remember, this is a cocktail. It'll be good no matter what you do in it, just as long as you don't forget the vodka. That's really the only important ingredient in the whole thing. The rest is fun. So I cut 2 nice slices of pear. We're going to use those as garnish and set them aside. So right now I have all my garnishes prepared. I have my 2 lime wheels, some mint tips, and 2 slices of pear. Now we get to the fun part and start making the cocktail. So grab your shaker. Whenever you're making a cocktail, what you want to do is put your ingredients in first and top with ice. Never put the ice in the beginning. So we're going to take this leftover pear and we're just going to dice it up. It can be rough. We're going to smash it up, so it doesn't need to be pretty. So just go ahead and just get a rough dice on what's left of your pear after doing the garnishes. Don't cut your fingers. How's everybody doing? Anyone on video want to show off their process?
We have a request. Could you please pause for a few seconds in between the steps that you're doing there?
Yes, I will. And I will go over. So far what we've done is the first thing we did was get our lime and cut 2 wheels off of it as garnish. We took our mint, we separated 2 pretty pieces of mint to use as garnish. The rest is going to go into the muddler. We're on our pear now. We cut 2 slices for garnish off the pear. The rest we're dicing up. So we haven't really opened any of the liquids yet. We're just still on all the fruit and veg portion of the cocktail. So I'm just dicing up that pear. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my mixing tin, my shaker. You should have received a beautiful copper shaker that Goes great with your mule mugs. And I put my diced pear in. And then we're going to add some of the agave syrup. Now, we gave you the recommended amount, but if you don't like too sweet a cocktail, you don't have to use all of this. We're really putting this in now to just give us a little bit of liquid to help us muddle. So we're gonna put, I'm gonna put about half of it. I don't like too sweet a drink. The pear is pretty sweet, but if you have a sweet tooth, go ahead and put it all in. The remainder of the mint, I'm gonna put in there. And then I'm gonna grab my muddler. Remember, if you don't have a muddler, anything that will not break or splinter or leave remnants behind that's clean. It could be a wooden spoon. It could be the handle of any of the implements you have in your kitchen. And we're gonna just go ahead and give that pear and mint and agave.
We have a question.
Yeah.
Someone's asking, do we put the whole half pear minus the garnish for just 2 drinks?
Yeah, that's what I did. We're gonna strain this out. So this isn't actually gonna go, the flesh of the pear isn't gonna go into your cocktail. It's just to impart that nice pear flavor into the vodka and the rest of the cocktail. If you're sick of cutting, you don't need to use the whole thing. Just enough to impart that flavor. And pear has just got such a nice, subtle flavor to add to this drink. So I got it pretty well muddled. Now I'm gonna take the rest of my lime, what was left over after we took the 2 wheels off garnish. I'm gonna put that lime juice in there. A little trick, I have a juicer here. If you don't have a juicer, same thing. If you're in the kitchen and you have your tongs, ice tongs or anything, this is a great way to, limes can be so mean and tough and hard to get juice out. This is a great way to get that juice out as well.
And then for those who did not receive a shaker, what is a good way?
So shaker hack, anything with the lid. What I recommend and what I use at home, especially at the beginning of quarantine, when my bar kit wasn't 100% ready to go at home, I was used to going out still. The beverage cups you use that have the lid and the little hole that you probably have your coffee in the morning, those insulated, those are the perfect shaker hack because they have a nice sealable lid. So go ahead and you can muddle that drink in there. They're usually metal so they can handle all that. And then after you shake it, it acts as a strainer as well because it's got that nice little hole. So you don't even need a strainer. It's sort of your all-in-one shaker.
What exactly was done to the pear in the package that was marinated?
It was poached in syrup. So it's a poached pear with syrup. And so my bag didn't have a lot of syrup in it, but if you have, there's a little bit. If you pour that syrup from this bag that you took your pear out of, that's a great flavor to add to this drink as well. So let me recap what we've done. We got our garnishes prepared. We put our pear, our mint, our agave, and our lime juice in here. We muddled it. And you can't over muddle. So now everything is in this drink except for the vodka and the ginger beer. The vodka is going to go in next. We're just going to top the rest of this drink off with our vodka. Just put it in there. Now we're going to add our ice and shake. So go ahead and top your shaker, or if you're using your shaker hat, any container that has a lid. If you use a hack, I recommended you don't need a strainer. If you're making it in a jar with a lid, you might need something to strain out what we have left over after we give this a shake. So I'm gonna put everything together here and I'm gonna give it a good shake. And we're gonna shake it long enough to really combine all the ingredients. And one of the tricks to shaking is you wanna shake till it's so cold you don't even wanna hold it anymore. Yeah, I'll go through the whole thing. I just wanted to compliment Herman on his shaker hack. Don't forget, don't leave that one behind, but the sippy cup is an excellent shaker cap. I think I'm gonna buy one for my next class just to have one. So giving that a good shake. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna get our glasses, our mugs. Oh, let me go over one more time. Yeah, someone asked. So the process so far in your kit, you received the mint, the lime, the pear, the agave syrup, the vodka, and the ginger beer. You also received some rimming sugar. We're not going to use that for this drink because you have these beautiful mugs. So you're going to start with getting your garnishes prepared for your drink, and you did that by cutting a lime wheel for each one, a slice of pear for each one, and a nice mint sprig for each one. Then you took the remainder of the mint and you put it into your shaker. You diced up the remainder of the pear, you put it in your shaker. You put your agave syrup in there, and you squeezed the remainder of the lime that was left over from the 2 wheel garnishes. You muddled that up, got it all nice and mixed together, and then we topped it off with the vodka, and then we added the ice and gave it a good shake. Now we're ready to get the final touches on there. We're going to take your mule mug. You're going to fill it with ice to the top. And that's a little trick. Whenever you make a shaken cocktail, you never want to use the ice you shook the cocktail with. That's already a lot of the heat there, the cold has been pulled out of it. And when you make a drink like that, gives you a sloppy drink. You always want to get fresh ice and then strain what you shook over that fresh ice. How's everyone doing? Is everyone keeping up? Everyone ready to? I bet you're getting thirsty at this point because we're taking our time here, but it'll make the drink even more delicious. So I have my 2 mugs topped with fresh ice. I have my shaken vodka, muddled pear, lime, mint, agave mixture. And I'm gonna go ahead and shake that, and then I'm going to divvy this into the 2 mugs. It's not going to go to the top. We're going to top this drink with the ginger beer. So you really want it about half to 3/4 the way full. And I grew up with a brother, so it's sort of, our rule was whoever pours or cuts the cake or whatever, the other person gets to pick. So if you're making this with a friend and you're dividing the vodka between the 2 of you, the friend gets to pick which one they want. So got that all out of there, and you'll see it's about, your mugs are probably about half full right now. And now we're going to take our ginger beer and we're going to top it with the ginger beer. Oh, smells good. Now go ahead and take our garnishes, and we're going to you can put them over by the handle. If you have your handle, you want to put the garnish where it's not going to be banging you right in the nose. So I'm going to put it sort of near the handle.
And we have a question, is the allspice in yet?
So that was only if we were going to make it in a glass, but your hosts at JCC were kind enough to send you the actual mugs. So we're not going to rim, you don't rim the mug rim. That would be as if you made it in a sort of a rocks glass or a lowball glass like that. A fun way to jazz it up, looks wise, is you would just moisten that rim with a bit of the leftover lime and then roll it into that sugar, get that nice sugar on that rim and garnish it. But with these mugs, and that's just, it gives a little bit of sweet, a little bit of the spice, but it's really for the looks. You have the fortunate look of the classic mule mug. So that's what we're going to go for here. So I poured the drink in over fresh ice. I topped it with the ginger beer. Now I'm just garnishing it up. I garnished it with the 2 lime wheels. I'm just going to lay this pear right onto the ice. And then a nice little trick to wake up your mint when you garnish it is put it in your hand and give it a good slap. And that slap will release a lot of those oils. And then you're just going to drop that right on top. And that by giving it that slap, you're really going to get that mint aroma coming off. So now you should have your complete garden party mule. There's ours. Feel free to unvideo mute yourself, turn your camera on, and hold your cocktail up. I'm going to kick it back over to Seth, and say cheers and enjoy and have a wonderful evening. And thanks so much for bringing us into your homes and letting us have a cocktail with you. Cheers.
Thank you very much. Hope you all had a great time making cocktails. I hope you enjoy your cocktails. And if you couldn't keep up, well, work on your own timeline, make your cocktail, enjoy it, have fun. We're going to head on over to the other site as soon as you're ready. That's going to launch in just a few minutes. Looks like we're sharing here again. There we go. Yeah, paloaltojcc.org/gathering21. And we have that in the chat. We'll add it in there again. Let's see, is it there yet? All right, I'm going to put it there. Let's see who can get it there first. So there you go. Thanks for being here with us and have a great time tonight. We really appreciate you tuning in, and we're just grateful for all of your support. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Bye, everybody.